Hello class, welcome back to our video reading review of the section Evaluations. Let's begin on page 211. It's important for us to think about evaluations when analyzing other people's arguments and constructing our own. And essentially, as the book says, evaluations are everyday arguments. By the time you leave home in the morning, you've likely made a dozen informal evaluations. So now the question is, what are the criteria that you base it on, right? That you base that evaluation on. Now, remember, criteria, right, is the plural version of criterion. So if there's one criterion with an N, there's multiple criteria. I must confess, before I started teaching this class, I did not know the difference between criterion and criteria. I actually thought criteria was singular and criterion was plural, but it's the opposite. Criteria is plural, criterion is singular, excuse me. So that being said, it's important to understand the criteria of evaluation, the standards we set for judging something. Now, rhetorical analysis, what are the criteria of evaluation? Ethos, logos, pathos, kairos. When you write your précis, what are the criteria of evaluation? Well, you're going to write 4 sentences. Number 1 is going to be about author, title, and thesis. 2 is support. 3 is purpose. 4 is audience and tone. So, essentially, they give numerous examples of various criteria and how to structure it. And again, make sure the criteria are grounded in logos, right? And that's very, very important. They have to be grounded in logic. It's one thing to appeal to emotions, as we know, pathos, and feelings, but make sure the criteria are grounded in logic, things that can be verified, facts, examples. Now, the book also goes over on page 215 the difference between qualitative arguments, quality, right? When I grade your essays and I put a letter grade on it, A means excellent, B is good, C is average, right? Passing, and D is unsatisfactory, right? Those are qualitative arguments, right? Excellent, good, satisfactory, unsatisfactory. Quantitative is more about numbers, right? When you get a number grade, 4 out of 5, right? Instead of a letter grade with, right, expressing a quality of evaluation. So in some aspects, the two, right, I think that are very similar in that they're both trying to establish, right, what something's going to be judged on. So as you're developing your evaluative argument, it goes back to the same Toulmin and Rogerian strategies we've been discussing. Make sure you formulate your criteria clearly. Make sure you consider the claims, your reasons, your warrants, and the specific evidence that you're going to use, right? Make sure that you give your reader examples. Where? In your intro and in your body paragraph. So as you're thinking about drafting the introduction paragraph, right? Remember, it should start with background on your subject and topic. Your subject is identity, right? Whichever kind of identity you want to focus on. Your topic is stereotyping, right? What are the causes and effects of that stereotyping, right? Uh, in our culture, in our society, towards the human race. Then you present your claim. And then when you list your supporting ideas, those are the examples that you're going to evaluate based on your criteria of evaluation to prove your point. Are you going to look at languages? Are you going to look at cultures? Are you going to look at ideologies? Right? Um, again, think about that when you're structuring your intro paragraph, right? Background on your subject, background on your topic, right? What are the criteria of evaluation your paper is going to focus on? What is your claim? And What are the examples you're going to analyze and apply those criteria of evaluation to present your argument, to look at the causes, to look at the effects, right? The chapter continues with more details and examples of how to make the claims, how to present your evidence, how to consider, right, your sources and how to apply those as well. I mean, what's the criteria you use to evaluate your sources? I think it comes back to rhetorical analysis: ethos, logos, pathos, and kairos. So I hope you found this lecture helpful. Thank you for your time and patience. And as always, let me know if you have any questions.